Good morning, guys. My name is Hasan Zeki Alp. I'm a retired engineer. After my retirement years, I decided to learn new generation programming languages, and so far I have already learned a dozen of programming languages, and I decided to share this knowledge, and I prepared so far some programming language lessons, tutorials on YouTube, and I decided this time to prepare a lecture for Kotlin. I'd like to use about Kotlin. Kotlin is a new generation programming language that supports object-oriented programming and structural programming. Kotlin developed in 2017 by JetBrains. JetBrains-IntelliJIDEA, or others saying IntelliJIDEA, integrated development environment, supports Kotlin. So during all these lessons, I will use IntelliJIDEA's development environment, especially for community edition. Okay, let me show you a few things about IntelliJIDEA. This is the initial page of our development environment. I here, instead of creating a new project, prefer to choose to re-enter my Kotlin programs. And you can be familiar with this user interface, this page. However, I will just like to give some information about the menu system. Here, just we can create a new project or new files, and instead of going one by one, just I would like to show you this run. We can run the snippet or Kotlin code, and that's all, I think. So let's go one by one and step by step. After we need, whenever we need much more information, I will give, and you will see how it is run, or how to make it run. Okay, Kotlin is actually Java family programming language, interpreting language instead of compiling. So the codes, Kotlin codes, are interpreted line by line and converted into bytes, and these bytes are implemented in a JVM, I mean a Java virtual machine, and it becomes object files. So just I want to start with this familiar example, a hello world example. In Kotlin, we have to define a main function, so it's gonna accept arguments and in string manner and arrays, and within these curly brackets we can define declare any method. I here prefer to use a print method, so it's gonna print out hello world on the screen. Just this user interface makes us some utilities and makes it easy to run the program. Instead of saying this from symbols, you can press this and you can start the program, or you could prefer from here. It's up to you which one it's easy to you. And I here use this one and run a Kotlin program. So I'd like to follow the commands here, and after a bunch of explanations, warnings, it gives zero exit code. That means our code is worked fine, and hello world string, hello world message is printed out on the screen. Just I would like to change this scenario, so include my webcam output. Okay, thanks. Hello again. And here I'd like to go on with our next Kotlin program. I here define my main function here, and within curly brackets, just I said, all things will be performed, will be done. I here define a variable num. In Kotlin, variables can be val, value, or variable type. When you say value, it's not gonna be changed because you dedicate a value for that, and by means of this command, the value of num variable will be printed. Okay, and after that I here define another variable, a string variable, so as to be including Zeki, and it is going to be printed on the screen as a string. And here I define another variable pi. Pi is a mathematical constant, 3.14, it's a short form. So pi will be printed, and here I here define another string, the string itself, but this time with another name, hello, and I'd like to get it printed once again, and like this. Okay, let's go step by step and see the result, and how all these variable declarations will be printed out when we run the program. Okay, as you see here, first our variable num, its contents will be printed here. Okay, just look, it is integer, not floating. Here in another line, Zeki string is printed. Okay, and here the constant pi is printed. Okay, I declared it as a float point form, and this time another string declared here, hello, is printed. Okay, this is well. Okay, I here define a num2 variable, so as to be 20. Okay, it's printed, and here just I make a small manipulating, and I make it activated this num usage a second time. I mean, okay, it's rerunning. Just here I would like to show you one thing, that there is an error message here. Val cannot be reassigned. It gives this error message because if we choose to declare a variable as val, so that means it may not be changed within the framework of that program. That means somehow it's a constant. Okay, please be careful about that. I gave this example so as to show you this example before, because when I activated this reusage on purpose, okay, it gave such error, and just I make it to its original form, not to cause any inconveniences, and I'd like to run it once again. Okay, it didn't give any errors, and it goes well. So far so good. Okay, let's go with our next code snippet. I here define a main. As you are familiar with this structure, and here I define, okay, it goes a little slow. Okay, within my function declaration, I would like to test variable so as to be 10, and test this time becomes 21, and I would like to get it first once again. This time test, okay. Just as you can see, within the framework of this main function, it is printed as many as you desired, or it is used as many as you desired, as long as you use the variable type as var instead of val. So var is mutable, val is immutable. Please keep in mind, var allows to change it. Okay, let's go with our next code snippet. Here I declare a variable var so as to be integer 8, and here this is named especially like this. This is a val variable, so you can expect that you cannot change its content afterwards. So immutable string, its name, its dedicated name, won't change the content of this string, and I'd like to print out num, and I'd like to print out immutable string. So after running this code snippet, we could get, okay, the first one, the content of num, okay, and this prints this string won't change, and after that I'd like to assign another value for num, because it's strongly typed as var. That means it allows to be changed. Okay, content is changed, and this time, okay, immutable string try to change. Actually, I deactivated this, and when I activated it, sorry, it's just explanation, that's okay, and it's printed once again, won't change, and here our new string, as long as it is var, it is possible, it is allowed to change, and this time it's changed to new. So once again, var is possible for mutable, and val is immutable. Okay, let's go with our next code snippet. I'd like to get some information about constants that's already been known by mathematicians. I here dedicate pi value as float, and this is the notation you have to bear in mind, and this is the e constant. So it's 2.7182, and this is enough for this double format, and I'd like to get it printed here by saying its name, variable name, and this. Just I can okay, just we can run it. Okay. I have to run the actual one instead of the previous one. Okay, this is the pi, this is the e number based off the natural logarithm, in fact, and here I'd like to show you some information about that. Actually, in computer literature, byte means 1 byte of memory allocation. If we say short, that means it's gonna allocate 2 bytes, and for integers it consumes 4 bytes in fact. 4 times 8 bits in fact 32. We're talking about a long integer that corresponds to 8 bytes. 8 times 8, 64 bits it corresponds to. And how about floating? Float point for float point arithmetics, 16 bytes are used, and for double again 16 bytes will be used. Okay, after we go on forward, I will give much more paraphrasing about these bytes and their corresponding memory allocation capacity values. And let's go with our next code snippet. Here I'd like to show you characters and strings. If you would like to create a variable which corresponds to a character, so we have to use char keyword. I here define a variable var alphanumeric character, so as to be a lowercase a. So I'd like to get it printed by saying just simply its variable name. I here define a string variable, so as to be including consisting hello world, and this time I'd like to get it printed. So 2 lines will be printed. Okay, just we run our code snippet. Okay, this is within quotation marks. Okay, however, it's printed without quotation marks, right? This is important. And at the next line, our string which is name as, will be printed. Just you can see. I hope I'm not going so quickly, and I assume that you can follow me step by step. I don't have any idea how long time passed so far. However, at the end of the 10th code snippet, I will complete this course as the first one, and see your responses. Okay, let's go sorry, with this example. I here define a main function and some variables here. Just I said decimal means 1, 2, 3 dot 4, 5, 6, for example, as a symbolic manner, and we show the long types by appending uppercase L. So that signifies that is a long integer, and this is hexadecimal, and so it has to start with OX, and this corresponding to 15, of course, and this is a billion. It can be shown like this in order to make it easy to understand and to read. It's for readability. This is hex underscore num. As you can see, it contains alphanumeric characters, and just will inquire its decimal value. This is byte notation, so it has to start with 0b, that corresponds to byte, and this is float. It's arbitrary naming, 3.14f. This is for float version, float presentation. This is another float, and this is double, and this is default. Okay, just by giving some explanation for their type, and I'd like to get it printed with its assigned values. Okay, just by running the program snippet. Okay, just as I said, 15 for OF, and a billion is written in the form which is stored in computer memory. Another hex number. Actually, it's a bit difficult to calculate by looking at the first sight. You have to calculate byte by byte, and this stands to the corresponding value of this binary value, 50 to 56,000 blah 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 blah, and this is the value corresponding to this floating variable, and all these another. Okay, just you could have an idea about variable types, and according to your demands you could choose which type you prefer. Okay, let's go with our next snippet. By this snippet I would like to show you the functions of print line command and simple print command. Of course, there is a difference by using this format with ln extension, ln, and this one. Just the contents of the strings are hello world on the same line. That can be seen that three parts will be printed. However, how it will be printed, how it will be laid out, just we could see it. Let me make it a little bit upper here. Okay, as it is expected, hello world is printed on a single line, and this is important. By using a simple print command, I prefer this string to be printed the next line. However, if I repeat in another print command with another line, so it's going to be concatenated. Would be printed out next to each other. So there will not be any empty space. You can be careful about using simple print command instead of using print line command. Okay, just you can see its effect on the. Okay, this is the first. Okay, no, this is the second string, and this is the third string. However, it's printed on another line in a single line. Okay. Okay, I here gave another example for usage of var and in different version to print out in a single line. Okay, this is the text to be printed, and just by saying its name, because it's numerical, and by concatenating, it's be printed. And I can use it by string template. I can use it to show it in string template. Num is $num, and this is another one. Okay, in a string. Okay, in a string format. Just by mentioning its name, I can combine manner. I can print out in combined manner. Just we do not have to forget to use $sign here. Just right away, I'd like to show it. Okay, num is 59. Okay, this is print line. Okay, another print line will be used here. Integer value is 59, and double value is dbl. Just mentioning its name within a string structure, you can print out the contents of your variables. And what is our last example here? Within our function definition, I here declare two variables such as a and b. I'd like to get it printed after they are summed together, and this is the format. This is the string extrapolation is called in programming. Similar to lambda function somehow, I guess, and it's printed like this. I would like to show you. Okay, a result as is expected. It is expected will be 50. This is the end of this course, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, you found it useful, and especially you found it easy to understand. Especially I didn't make it so long. 10 examples. Okay, I know it's very short. It's not. It does not take so much time. However, step by step, lesson by lesson, we will go further and further, and our examples will be much more sophisticated, much more comprehensible manner. Thanks for your time, you guys. I expect your responses, your feedback, and please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for the newcomers, for welcoming ones. I would like to repeat it once again: www.youtube.com/user/Hasan Zeki Alp. I'd like to thank you for your time. Please enjoy the remaining hour of this sunny day, and thanks again. Bye bye.